Many landscape contractors will have big equipment that can move trees into the hole fairly easily. But if you don't have that kind of equipment, then you kind of have to muscle it in. So it's good to have two people, one person that kind of controls the top of the tree and the other person that rolls the root ball into the hole. And you want to do this as gently as possible to kind of maintain the integrity of that root ball. You can see it's not always an easy job to do, even with two people when you have a big ball and burlap tree. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you have the tree straight and that the best side is facing where most people are going to see that tree. Now we're doing a little backfill here, not very high up on the root ball where there aren't any roots. So it's okay to actually compact the soil around the base of the root ball to help stabilize that tree. And the other reason it's great to have a partner is they can help you make sure the tree is straight 360 degrees. How we doing, Tim?
Looking pretty good.
Good. Once we have the tree straight, then we're going to manage the root ball in the hole itself. This is why it's great to have such a big hole, because you can sit down on the edge of the hole and do the manipulations you need to do. The tools that you need are wire cutters and hand pruners to help cut, or if you have a knife, to help cut the webbing around the root ball itself. So in this case, you can see Tim is taking the top tier of the wire basket off. And this is going to vary based on the size of the root ball itself and what kind of soil the root ball was grown in. So I happen to know that these are grown in somewhat sandy soils, so we really want to leave some of that lower basket on to help hold that root ball together until we can get all the soil around it. And so that's why having a little bit of soil at the base does help in keeping everything straight and kind of held together. So while Tim is taking off the wire basket, I'm going to start taking off the twine. And as I said, if you have a knife or hand pruners, whatever you need to actually cut that twine is great. We don't want to leave that on around the base of the trunk of the tree. You'll notice our tree is a little bit crooked. We'll still have to manage that a little bit as we begin to fill the hole back in. Be really careful that you don't cut yourself with the wire basket, and set that off to the side, out of your way. A lot of nurseries use wire staples now, and some will also still use the old-fashioned pinning nails. But either way, you're going to pull back the top of the burlap out away from the root ball itself. Because remember, we still have to expose the first main order root, and we want to make sure we don't leave any burlap on the top, because oftentimes it will wick moisture away from the root ball when you're trying to keep it well watered. We can see kind of that this is indeed a very sandy soil. So we're going to start maneuvering the tree to manage that lean a little bit, and we're going to pull this soil off of the top of the tree, off of the top of the root ball itself. And you can see right where my hand is the first main order root that we talked about, and that's simply the first root that you encounter as you come down the trunk of the tree and into that root ball. And we want that root right at grade level, or no more than 2 to 3 inches above grade. So you can see we did very well in deciding how deep we wanted our hole to actually be. We still have a little bit of lean on this tree, and what we'll do is we'll stake the root ball, so we'll be able to adjust for that once we finish. The next thing, of course, is to fill the hole itself with soil.